Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the eerie and mysterious world of the supernatural, specifically the idea that ghosts, yes, ghosts can help solve murders. I know what you're thinking, that sounds crazy, but is it? We've got 5 cases for you today that might just change your mind. Get ready to hear about 5 chilling cases where ghosts help solve a murder. We're talking about spirits whispering secrets from beyond the grave, pointing spectral fingers at the guilty and basically saying boo to justice. So buckle up because we're about to embark on a journey into the heart of the unknown. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to join us on this spooky adventure. Our first case takes us back to the late 1800s in Greenbrier County, West Virginia. This picturesque region, known for its rolling hills and serene landscapes, would soon become the backdrop for a chilling tale that defies logic and reason. Picture this: a young woman named Zona Hista is found dead in her home. The initial shock of her untimely death sends ripples through the small community. Her death is ruled as natural causes, but Zona's mother, Mary Jane Hista, isn't buying it. She feels a deep, unsettling intuition that something is terribly wrong. She suspects foul play, and she believes her daughter's husband, a man named Erasmus Trout Shue, is responsible. Erasmus had always seemed a bit off to Mary Jane, and now her suspicions are growing stronger. Now Mary Jane is a force to be reckoned with. She is determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. She's convinced that Zona is trying to reach out from beyond the grave. Mary Jane begins to experience strange, otherworldly visions. She claims that Zona's ghost appeared to her over a period of 4 nights, each night revealing a new detail about the murder. These spectral visits are both terrifying and enlightening. According to Mary Jane, Zona's ghost told her that Erasmus had choked her, breaking her neck. This revelation is both horrifying and galvanizing for Mary Jane. Mary Jane, armed with this ghostly testimony, goes to the authorities. She knows that convincing them will be an uphill battle. They're skeptical, to say the least, but they agree to exhume Zona's body. The exhumation is a tense and eerie affair, conducted under the cover of night. And guess what? The autopsy reveals that Zona's neck was indeed broken, just as her ghost had told Mary Jane. This shocking discovery turns the case on its head. Erasmus is arrested and charged with murder. The community is in an uproar, divided between believers and skeptics. The trial is a sensation. Newspapers across the country pick up the story, and the courtroom is packed with curious onlookers. Mary Jane testifies about her daughter's ghostly visits, and the jury is captivated. Her testimony is both emotional and compelling. Ultimately, Erasmus is found guilty of murder and sentenced to prison. Justice, it seems, has been served, albeit through extraordinary means. This case, known as the Greenbrier Ghost Case, is one of the most famous examples of alleged spectral intervention in a murder investigation. It has fascinated and perplexed people for generations. It's a story that blurs the lines between the living and the dead, leaving us to wonder if justice can truly be served, even from beyond the grave. The Greenbrier Ghost Case remains a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding. Fast forward to 1977, we find ourselves in the bustling city of Chicago. Teresita Barca, a respiratory therapist, is found brutally murdered in her apartment. The case goes cold for months, leaving her family and friends desperate for answers. Enter Remy Chua, a co-worker of Teresita's at Edgewater Hospital. Remy starts having vivid dreams about Teresita. In these dreams, Teresita tells Remy that she was murdered by a man named Alan Showery, a hospital orderly who had been fired for stealing from patients. In a truly bizarre twist, Remy claims that Teresita actually began speaking through her, using Remy's own voice to reveal more details about the murder. According to Teresita, Alan had strangled her and then set her apartment on fire to cover up the crime. Remy, understandably shaken by these experiences, goes to the police. They're initially dismissive, but Remy's detailed account of the crime, including information that only the killer could have known, convinces them to investigate Alan Showery. Showery is brought in for questioning, and under pressure from the mounting evidence, he confesses to the murder. He's convicted and sentenced to prison. The case of Teresita Barca is a chilling reminder that sometimes the truth can come from the most unexpected sources, even from beyond the grave. Chapter 3: The Hammersmith Ghost. A spectral vigilante on the streets of London. Our next stop takes us across the pond to London, England, in the year 1803. The city, shrouded in fog and mystery, is a place where legends and reality often intertwine. The Hammersmith neighborhood is gripped by fear as rumors spread of a terrifying apparition haunting the streets. Whispers of the Hammersmith ghost send shivers down the spines of the townspeople, who dread encountering the spectral figure. This isn't just any ghost, it's the Hammersmith ghost, a spectral figure said to be the spirit of a man who had recently committed suicide. The ghost is described as wearing white with a haunting presence that chills the air. One fateful night, a man named Thomas Millwood is walking home when he spots a figure resembling the infamous ghost. The figure's eerie appearance and the tales of its malevolence fill Millwood with dread. In a moment of panic, he raises his gun and fires, fatally shooting the figure. The sound of the gunshot echoes through the silent streets, a tragic mistake born out of fear. To his horror, he realizes he hasn't shot a ghost but a real person, a bricklayer named George Farman. The realization dawns on him with a crushing weight as he sees the lifeless body before him. Millwood is arrested and charged with murder. The news of the incident spreads quickly, adding to the already heightened sense of fear and confusion in the community. During his trial, Millwood's defense team argues that he genuinely believed he was shooting at a ghost, highlighting the widespread fear and hysteria surrounding the Hammersmith ghost. They paint a picture of a man driven to desperation by the terrifying tales. They claim that Millwood acted out of fear, not malice. His actions, they argue, were a tragic consequence of the ghostly hysteria that had gripped the neighborhood. The prosecution, however, argues that Millwood used the ghost story as a cover for a deliberate act of violence. They suggest that the ghostly tale was a convenient excuse for a premeditated crime. They present evidence that Millwood had a history of disputes with Farman, suggesting a motive for murder. The courtroom is filled with tension as both sides present their cases. The jury ultimately finds Millwood guilty of manslaughter, a lesser charge than murder, acknowledging the role that the Hammersmith ghost hysteria played in the events that led to Farman's death. The verdict reflects the complex interplay of fear, superstition, and human error. The case serves as a stark reminder that fear and superstition can have deadly consequences. It underscores the dangers of letting myths and legends dictate our actions, a lesson that resonates through the ages. Chapter 4. The Ghost of Frederick Jordan, a Spectral Plea for Justice. Our journey through time and the spectral realm now takes us to the year 1920 in the small town of Ramseur, North Carolina. This quaint town, with its serene landscapes and close-knit community, would soon be shaken by an event that would blur the lines between the living and the dead. A prominent physician, Dr. James L. Little, is found dead in his home, sending shockwaves through the community. Dr. Little was well respected and known for his dedication to his patients, making his sudden death all the more tragic. The cause of death? A gunshot wound to the head. The scene was grim, and the community was left in a state of disbelief and sorrow. The authorities initially suspect suicide, but something doesn't sit right. The evidence seems too convenient, too neatly arranged, raising doubts among the investigators. Enter the ghost of Frederick Jordan, a local man who had worked for Dr. Little as a handyman. Jordan had passed away under mysterious circumstances a few years prior, and his spirit seemed restless. Jordan's ghost is said to have appeared to several people in town, claiming that he had witnessed Dr. Little's murder. His spectral presence was both a source of fear and a beacon of hope for those seeking the truth. According to Jordan's spectral testimony, Dr. Little was arguing with his son-in-law, a man named Stacy Hill, on the day of his death. The argument was intense, filled with accusations and anger. The argument escalated, and Hill shot Dr. Little in a fit of rage. The moment was quick, violent, and irreversible. Jordan's ghost claimed that Hill then staged the scene to look like a suicide. The meticulous arrangement of the crime scene was meant to mislead the authorities and cover up the true nature of the crime. Armed with this ghostly information, the authorities reopened the investigation. The case, once thought to be closed, was now under intense scrutiny. They exhumed Dr. Little's body and conduct a more thorough autopsy. The new examination was detailed, leaving no stone unturned. The results support Jordan's claims. The angle of the gunshot wound is inconsistent with suicide, and there's evidence of a struggle. The findings were clear and damning. Stacy Hill is arrested and charged with Dr. Little's murder. The arrest was a significant moment, bringing a sense of justice to the community. The trial is a media frenzy, with the ghost of Frederick Jordan taking center stage. The courtroom was filled with tension as the ghostly testimony was presented. Ultimately, the jury finds Hill guilty of murder and he's sentenced to life in prison. The verdict was a culmination of spectral intervention and diligent investigation. The case serves as a chilling reminder that even in death, the truth can find a way to be heard. The ghost of Frederick Jordan ensured that justice was served, leaving an indelible mark on the town of Ramseur. Chapter 5. The Greenbrier Ghost, a legal precedent. Let's circle back to the Greenbrier ghost case for a moment. This wasn't just some spooky story, it was a landmark case in American legal history. It's believed to be the only known case in the United States where testimony from a ghost, or at least testimony about what a ghost allegedly said, was used to secure a murder conviction. Think about that for a second. A ghost, a wisp of a memory, a figment of someone's imagination, helped put a murderer behind bars. It's both terrifying and fascinating, right? It makes you wonder about the nature of justice, of truth, and of the very fabric of reality itself. The Greenbrier ghost case continues to be debated and discussed to this day. Was Mary Jane Heaster really visited by her daughter's ghost? Or was she a grieving mother who latched onto a way to avenge her daughter's death? We may never know for sure. But one thing is certain, the Greenbrier ghost case remains a captivating and unsettling example of the enduring power of belief and the enduring mystery of the afterlife. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling tales. And hey, if you've got a good ghost story, especially one where a ghost helped crack a case, drop it in the comments below. We might just feature it in a future video. Have you heard of any other cases where ghosts helped solve a murder? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep your salt lamps lit, your sage burning, and remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.